Ladies and gentlemen, let me see here. Good evening to y'all as well. As y'all know, we don't have a whole lot of time, but we're going to let this here thing see if I can get this here set up. My son is at soccer practice, so I'm in my mobile office while he practicing. So we probably got an hour and 20 minutes to chat and kind of following up on what we talked about last night. But if you're not in class, Saturday, got the mid-year check-in Saturday. I put the link in the description box. So you can grab your seat. Seats are limited. We still have a little more space. I need to check to make sure, see how much space we got, but we do have some. So let me see here. Yeah, we got some seats left. So when it fill up, it's closed. Class is Saturday. It's only $25. My wife will be on there for the first 30 minutes to an hour, kind of sharing a few things with us. And then we're going to be going from there. I'll be teaching a little bit and then hopefully get some time for Q&A. We got soccer Saturday too, so might not get too much time, but want to pop in. Now, for those of y'all going to Bali, hopefully y'all still could make it. That's coming up June 2nd through the 9th. And then London, June 11th, is the London meetup. Is a full day training in London. For those of y'all who went to the life coach certification, I'm working on getting the certificates designed. So we should have those within a week. So y'all will get an email here from me here soon. Just been a little busy, a little tied up, and not able to get over there to that. Now, last night we were talking about something that I can't really too much remember, but right before I got on this, I saw a video of a man talking about having a girlfriend and his girlfriend having a daughter and him paying for the wedding, but the daughter want her daddy to give her away, and then the father-daughter dances is with her real daddy, but she been with this here man for 10 years and he paying for the wedding. And it said a couple things to me. For one, that's what he get for having a girlfriend for 10 years. Your butt need to be married if you want to have some say so. Otherwise, you're just a do boy. And so you might as well get married. But then two, it just goes to show the usury. And this is what we got to be careful of, because social media is highlighting a lot of usury. Social media highlighting this usury, and with this, it's gonna take and turn men more and more against women, because is what's getting the attention is women using men. So if all the attention is going to the women that's using men for money, then men are not going to take that lightly, and men gonna start moving a little differently. Instead of being protectors and providers, men gonna start going in and looking for what they can get, and gonna go in with resentment for a woman, even though that woman ain't did nothing to the man. The man gonna come in with resentment because of what's being promoted online. So as women, you have to be very careful with that right there angle when you dealing with good men. You got to be very careful with the entitlement and feeling like a man only job is just to spend money, and that if he ain't spending money, he ain't worth nothing. But see, because of the The music, you got the trending song on TikTok where the girl talking about she got a white boy on the roster and he some steak and lobster and giving her money, Cash App or Zelle. And so we don't understand the power of the subconscious mind. When people hear that, it's literally going to be a whole plethora, thousands of women that start trying to get a white boy on the roster and wanting lobster, and then thinking he finna be Cash Apping or Zelling. And we just think that it's music. We just think that these are just videos online. We just think that it's nonsense, but that stuff affects the mind. It affects the mind greatly. And so with this usury that's out there, and what I want women to understand is chivalry was not chivalry. See, a lot of women thinking that chivalry was just about men being men, like opening doors and pulling out chairs and all of this stuff. What you have to realize is that chivalry was like food stamps and Medicare, because women were oppressed. So because women could not vote and women had no voice, that's why chivalry was created, to try to give women something, because women had nothing, had no rights, had no voice, and was literally just Molly Maid in the household. A lot of women could not work. If a woman did work, she was not paid fair and just taken for granted. And so women over time, as women started to get degrees and started to get jobs, things started to change. Now women do not need men financially. A woman can make her own money. But now a woman wants a man. Don't need a man, but want a man. And a lot of women want a man financially, for financial stability. But now men are starting to look at it differently and say, well, you don't need me financially, so why am I being chivalrous if you could do everything I could do? And then what are you going to do for me that I could do for myself if you want me to do for you what you could do for yourself? And this is where that contention is coming in. This is where the contention coming in. So if a woman comes with an attitude of entitlement instead of an attitude of gratitude, that's going to turn this generation of men off. And there is a give and take. So what's happening is, because of what's going on in society, with men and women, what's happening is there's this button of the heads. So with this give and take, the woman saying, hey, I want you to provide financially. And the man saying, hey, I'll provide financially, but I'm going to need you to put out. I'm going to need you to come off something. But because of the narrative of men are only good for money, a lot of women are saying, provide financially, take care of everything, but even in marriage, I'm not going to be sleeping with you like that, because I'm tired, because I got a headache, because I got this and that. But keep providing financially. And that right there is not fair. So if a man A man don't feel like going to work and providing. So if a woman don't feel like sleeping with her husband, if the man doing something he don't feel like doing, then if the husband doing something he don't feel like doing, then the wife got to do something she don't feel like doing. Both got to get out the comfort zone, and both got to serve each other. Both got to meet needs. But we going into this society where it's one side or the other, and it's one person taking, and the other person is just giving, 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 giving. And so it has to be equal. Love souls, God bless you. But what's happening is it's becoming unfair, and it's either men trying to get over on the woman or the woman trying to get over on the man. So I heard a man say, well, what can you do as a woman other than sleep with me? And then the woman was like, oh, well, I turn a house into a home and I do this and do that. Basically you become my child. And that was a stupid answer. That was a terrible answer. Because so I'm cooking, I'm cleaning. The man like, that's only $100 a week, which is a lie. Ain't no $100 a week. Let me know he ain't never had to pay for that. And so now we trying to just minimize each other. The man trying to put a dollar amount on what a wife brings to the household. And then the woman trying to make the man just about providing. And that disrespect between the genders is what is costing us our relationships, because we don't fully value. Because honestly, what we bring is priceless. So even like the example where this guy has a girlfriend for 10 years and he pays to put the daughter through college, and it's not his daughter, and then he's going to pay for her wedding, but she wants her real father to walk her in the wedding, to give her away in the wedding and do the father-daughter dancing with her. What that shows is the power and the presence and the importance of a father. That here this young lady who just finished college does not have a real relationship with her biological father. And instead of saying, I want both of y'all to give me away, and I want both of y'all to dance with me, like I dance with you on this song, dance with you on this song, dance with both of y'all on this song. Instead of her doing that, she look at her mama boyfriend as a check, as an ATM, and she want her daddy. Now, what that need to teach men is that we have a responsibility to be in that role. And also as a man, if I wasn't there for my daughter and another man was, I'll tell my daughter, you need to make room for that man. Because I ain't really been there like I should have been, and he done been there. You need to make room for that man. That's what a real man will do. But obviously her father is not a real man, and that's why he's not there. That's why he's not consistent. And that's why he want to come in at the last minute and get all the glory, when not everybody there will know that he's a deadbeat dad. They'll be giving him credit like, oh, that's so sweet. So he's not a real man. The daughter, she know her daddy is a sucker, but she want a relationship with her daddy so bad, and she want to look whole and presentable to her future husband, that she want her biological dad to give her away. So now when men seeing this, men looking at it like, whoa, so we suckers. So this how I'm going to get played. Okay, all right, I got something for you. So now the strike that mama and that daughter have against the mama boyfriend, now that strike becomes 2 strikes for every man that see that, who getting ready to go into a relationship, getting ready to go into a marriage. So now them men gonna go into their relationship with this other couple's strikes in his mind. And he finna say, no, I'm keeping my guards up. I ain't doing nothing. I ain't doing none of this right here, because These women will use you. They'll drain you out all your money and then take and give the credit to somebody else. So now that right there, where we think, oh, that's just a video. No, that's actually finna shape relationships. Where we think, oh, that's just music. No, that's actually finna shape relationships. So that's why we have to be intentional about this work, and got to be intentional about this knowledge, so that we fully know and understand what we up against. And so that when we go into a relationship, we got to be in a place to where when we in this relationship, we are building on a firm foundation, and we communicating through all of the other messages, the combating messages that's out there in the world, and we talking through it. Because if you do not confront the information that has been put into your subconscious mind with your conscious mind, the subconscious information will rule and reign. Because the subconscious mind does not have the ability to decipher between fact or fiction. That determination comes from the conscious mind. So you can't just listen to things and watch things and not sit down and talk to yourself or talk to your partner, if you're in a relationship, about these things that's being said online and about this music that's being listened to. Because this stuff will take hold, and it will be a stronghold in the relationship or in your mind, in your life. And so what you're seeing and hearing, if you are not careful, it will taint your image of the world. So you will go into the world and you will say, all women are gold diggers, all men are trash, because you're not confronting the toxic messages. But what you have to realize about the messages is that ignorance will always be promoted more than intellect. Because of the ignorance, it is entertaining. So because ignorance is entertaining, it's going to get the most play in the airwaves. And that right there has to be understood. And if you don't take the time to understand that, then you're going to be duped. You're going to be duped. So you have to know that there's still good men. You have to know that there's still good women. And you got to tell yourself that. And you got to become what you're supposed to become, because otherwise you're going to get played. So understand that that's what we are up against. That is what we are up against today. And it's gonna have to be more balanced. Cause see, listen, it's women who they want the man to pay the bills. And if they're not paying the bills, then what they gonna do? They're gonna cook every day. They're gonna make sure they man taken care of sexually. And they're gonna bring what they're supposed to bring to the table. But then it's women who don't want to do what they're supposed to do, but want the man to pay the bills. And then it's men who don't want to do what they're supposed to do, but then want a woman to be sleeping with them. So see, we got to understand that there are responsibilities in a relationship that have to be adhered to, got to be taken care of. And if it's not, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. And that's why we lose. That's why we losing today. So listen to me. What's going to happen is we are about to go into a space where there's going to be much fewer marriages, and and a lot of marriages that happen are going to be business deals, and that's going to ruin society to a degree. So we have to be intentional about the way we live our life, the way we carry ourselves, and the messages that we share with the youth, with your children, with your nieces, with your nephews. Got to be very intentional. I was just talking to my wife today, and I was saying, you know what? I want our son to start charging his devices, his laptop, and his phone in our room, so that he can't get up in the middle of the night and go get that phone and turn on some pornography and go to masturbating, because that's what's happening. That is what your teenage boys are doing today. And so they're becoming addicted to fantasy at a young age. And that's why this next generation is not going to be getting married. I see all these memes, not memes. I see all these posts of women talking about how long their husband be on the toilet. Now, yes, the food is terrible and people bowels ain't regular, but the other reason why husbands and boyfriends be in the bathroom so long is because of pornography. That's the other reason. A lot of women ain't even think about that. They just think he in there with the bubble guts or constipated. No. He in there choking the life out that chicken. He in there slow stroking. He in there with Bumblebee Triple X on that phone, weighing it out. And guess what? These boys, they starting that at 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That right there is going to give a sense of fulfillment and completion, and it's going to stop men from desiring marriage because of sexual immorality. So parents have to be extra vigilant about preventing that, because if you lay the groundwork, the foundation of preventing that, even when he goes out on his own, it's gonna be so foreign to him that if he dibble and dabble, he gonna know how to get back home. He gonna know how to get back the home base. So that's what you got to understand. Now I'm gonna take some of y'all questions in and out of what I'm talking about. Is it possible to talk to someone who is in prison platonically, or wait to vet him until he gets out? Will be out in 2 years. You wasting your time. You wasting your time, because when you talking to somebody that's in a cage, you don't know him. When he get out that cage and he got the whole world in front of him, all of these women at his disposal, you're gonna see the real him. So you really wasting your time, because you're gonna be done built love and you're gonna be done fell in love, and he's not really falling in love with you. He just using you because he ain't got nothing else to do. My 27-year-old boyfriend broke up with me because his family said I'm bougie and quiet. I only met them twice. I'm hurt by this. It ain't all his family. That's just, it's also him. That ain't why he broke up with you though. Sometimes we listen to family, but if he like you, he'll get his family his behind the kiss. So he don't feel you're a fit either. Guy today stated he doesn't do girlfriend, only friends. Is this really true, or a way to get to know someone without the expectation? Another guy said the same thing, but actions show differently, but inconsistent. Yeah, move on about your business. Again, that's men that's programmed by the society. I'm recently divorced after a 17-year marriage. How long do you think I should wait until actively start dating? There's no time limit on it, but because your marriage could have been dead a long time ago. So you need to wait until you can love like you've never been hurt before. So until you could go into a new relationship Until you could go into a new relationship without having so much from your marriage, then stay single. Been having a lot of sit downs with friends, family, men in respectful ways. I'm usually passive aggressive. I end up feeling like I fall out with them. How they react? Should I continue this or stop? Drain. You need to stop. You turning molehills into mountains. A lot of single men don't desire relationships. Do you think women play a huge part in men not wanting to commit? Women play a part in it, and so it's a mixture. It's a mixture of social media putting so much pressure on men to be financially stable and able to provide all of a woman's financial desires. That's one part of it. The other part of it is pornography. And the other part of it is the easy access to women. So because there are so many women and you can access so many women so easy, then you have to realize that it's hard to settle down and lock in on one woman. I went to the bank and got approved for a loan for a car. And had I just went and picked out a car and applied at the dealership, that would have been the car. But when I went to the bank and got approved for this lump sum of money, then it was too hard to pick a car. I'm like, whoa. That's how it is today with men and women. And it's both ways, men and women. Women are meeting men and afraid to settle down and lock in on that man because they don't know if another man could do more for them or gonna be sweet, more romantic or more this or more that. And then men getting with women and afraid to lock in because they don't know if that woman gonna be everything. Or they see this woman, then they see another woman the next day who has something that other women don't have. Is a 44-year-old woman and 58-year-old man a good idea? Been dealing together for 8 to 10 years. No, it's not a good idea. It is not a good idea. Not at all. My boyfriend likes a lot of alone time, but I value quality time together. How should I go about this? If he like more alone time than he likes together time, he's not meant to be in a relationship, and you need to think about if that's what you want to stay in. Hi, Mr. Gas. Can you speak on men bashing single mothers, please? I see a lot of videos of men saying single mothers lose their value and are for recreational uses only. It's a tad discouraging. Well, you got to understand who's saying that. And you got to ask yourself, is this the type of man that you want to marry? So when you look and you say, okay, that's not the type of man I would ever want to marry, then you can't really take that to heart. You can't take that to heart. And so men saying that as another way to deflect, as another way to stay in their pornography, and another excuse to stay single. So you got to understand that. My boyfriend and I have been dating for less than 1 month, but friends for 3 years. We are both trying to become more financially stable. I go Dutch with him in order to help him out. Advice. Mm. That's a personal choice. And if he's accepting of that, then hey, that could be something, that could mean something. But to each their own. I'm not sure that's going to help him be financially stable, but I mean, if y'all going out on a lot of dates, then that could make sense if y'all going to build together. But the thing is you don't know if y'all going to build together. You have no clue whatsoever. What's your stance on right person, wrong timing? Not no such of a thing because love transcends time. Love transcends distance. If you are the right person, a man will let nothing stand in the way of you being the right person. So that right there is not a thing. Now, if y'all go apart, then y'all should be coming back together if it's intended to be. And if not, then you'll know that too. And so this will have to be understand with these relationships, because we looking into this and we want to come together. We want to have these relationships, but what we're not doing is we're not building together. We're not building together. We're not trusting each other. And we are not trying to see the other side. Instead, people coming together and people are looking for, what can I get? The man looking for what he could get. The woman looking for what she could get. And that right there automatically puts us at odds. And so now we have these men and women who are not really looking for love, not really looking for a relationship, but looking for somebody to lay down with. So when you're looking for somebody to lay down with and you're not really looking for love, you're not really looking for a relationship, that right there is what's hurting us, because we're not actually building on something healthy. And that's what we have to understand. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to start confronting every single message that you see. Even if you are single and you are talking to no one, when you see a message, when you see a podcast, you need to sit down and you need to talk as if you are on that couch, on that podcast. Do not listen to what people are telling you. You need to formulate your argument. You need to pause the video, formulate your argument, and you need to rebut what you just heard. Because if you don't rebut what you just heard, your conscious mind will follow in line with your subconscious mind that just heard that lie. So now when you hear that lie, you'll end up moving in step with that lie that you heard because you didn't confront it. So you're going to have to be very intentional about what you refute. When you listening to the radio, if you hear nasty lyrics, you got to pause it or turn it down and say, that is disgusting. That is nasty. You nasty for writing that. You nasty for saying that. You nasty for putting that on a beat and thinking that's cute. Your butt nasty. That's what you need to do, because we are being programmed by the devil. We've been programmed day in and day out by the devil through the music, through these videos that's going viral online. We're being programmed. T and Tom, God bless you. Why do most men refuse to go to counseling? Because men don't want the light shined in the darkness. Every man who is doing wrong know he doing wrong. Every woman who is doing wrong know she doing wrong. We don't want that to be exposed in counseling, because when somebody on the outside look in, they're going to pull them blinders off our partner. And that's why people don't want to go to coaching and counseling, because they don't want to be exposed. I done had a lot of people come to coaching and counseling with me, and the woman coming saying, hey, can you fix him? And then when we get in the conversation, I say, well, actually, the problem ain't with him. The problem is with you. Huh? What you mean, Tony? What do you mean the problem with me? I say the problem is with you, because you talking to him like a child. You disrespecting him. You done castrated the man. You snipping his ball. You done gave the man a verbal vasectomy. So how you expect this man to want to love you and provide for you and respect you when you talking to him like the bubble gum on the bottom of your shoe? The problem with you. And so a lot of times I see that. And that's another reason why men don't be wanting to go to counseling, because they don't want that light shining, that darkness on the other side, that they getting pumped. And then when whoever's in the wrong, definitely don't want to hear about it. So we run from that. But today, what the biggest thing is today, I'm going to tell you the biggest thing today. The biggest thing today is men are afraid. Because I'm going to tell you something. As men, we are not created to be alone. So a man going to be with his favorite porn star on that phone or on that computer screen, or he going to be with his dog. His dog finna be his lover, or he finna be with his stuffed animal, or he finna be with a jump off and random women. But men are not created alone. You almost will never See a man who is single, abstinent, and not into pornography. To see a man who is single, abstinent, and not into pornography, it's like seeing a unicorn. And when have you seen a unicorn? Never. So even men who are virgin can be raw from wearing that thing out. They be down there, that thing be wore out from Angela, because men are not created to be alone. But I'm going to tell you why marriage is decreasing with men. Marriage is decreasing with men because men are turning to pornography because of fear. Online, men are inadequate. Men are inadequate because men cannot make enough money to please a woman. And it's so much talk about a woman having a man who could provide and who could do all of this. And women be saying stuff that is unrealistic. Women be saying stuff like, I want to be in a relationship and I want to be with a man who I just could up and vacation when we want to up and vacation. That is not realistic. 70% of Americans cannot touch $1,000. 70% of Americans cannot touch $1,000. And this not just in America, this is around the world. I'm doing a full day intensive training in London, and not a single person was able to pay $547 up front. That is the situation that we are in financially in our world. We are underpaid and overspent. Right now, if you look into your bank account, if you can touch $1,000, you in the top 30% of Americans, and you in the top 1% to 5% of the world. So with that being the case, how can women then say they want a man who is financially secure? Because there is no such thing as financial security. Because guess what? Even when you see a man like a Grant Cardone who took thousands of people money to put into his fund, when them thousands of people hit that threshold where they are allowed to withdraw their money, if they no longer feeling him, if the economy has changed, they finna withdraw their money. When all of them people withdraw their money, this quote unquote almost real estate billionaire will be bankrupt. And if the market crash and his money is in real estate, this man who stood on a stage and said that a man who made $400,000 do not make no money, that ain't no money. This man, with one financial crisis, this man will be bankrupt. There is no such thing as financial security. But every single woman online is saying that they want a man who is financially secure. I am a millionaire and I go to bed broke and I have to wake up rich. There is no such thing as financial security. Bill Gates ain't secure. Warren Buffett ain't secure. Jeff Bezos ain't secure. If one thing happened wrong, they could be bankrupt overnight. So what happens is men have now been scared out of marriage. And because that porn star is only asking him for $3.99 a month, he is choosing a fantastical woman on his phone over a real life woman. That's what he choosing. I'm married. And my wife just said to me the other day, she said, if we had money, now here are meals now, $1 million now, not stiked up, but here are meals now. In the top 1% of earners in America, and my wife said, if we had money. I said, oh Lord. I said, well, we broke here. But that's the kind of stuff that women is saying. So when women go into a relationship, y'all will mess around and get under your breath and be like, oh, I want to fix up the house, but we just always so tight. And then we just got the cash in an envelope. I'm tired of having the cash in an envelope. It's just such and such get to spend what she want to spend. And she got a platinum American Express. And it's like every time I turn around, you listen to Dave Ramsey. And Dave Ramsey making $55 million a year selling you a budget and talk about Financial Peace University and this feeling like financial scarcity junior college. And then he going around here and all the churches got this Financial Peace University. And this is what women be saying in the relationship. So men hearing this and men like, you know what? I don't want nothing to do with no marriage. I don't want nothing to do with no marriage because all it means is I am a checkbook. That's all it means is I am a checkbook. So what men is hearing is that they gonna be a checkbook and the woman gonna have a headache and can't have sex. That's what they hearing. And you know what they hearing at? Because the good women who don't think like that, the good women who want to bring something to the table, meaning the good women who want to have a mutually beneficial relationship to where she want to figure out what she need to do for the household and she want to figure out what he need to do for the household, those women don't have a podcast. Those women don't have a podcast because they too busy working. They working or they building a company or they building a brand and they don't have a podcast. But then who have a podcast is the broke, busted, and disgusted women and the broke, busted, and disgusted men. And so then they say, you mean to tell me that I could sit on YouTube and talk out my booty hole and make $10,000 a month? And so they will say something stupid and it will go viral. And then they will say something that makes sense and it'll be crickets. So then they say something else that's stupid and it goes viral. So now they are trapped to just only saying stupid stuff. So the light-skinned boy with the braids or the dreads and the little beard, every single video I see of him, he is saying something stupid. But it is going viral and he making money. So he is going to keep saying stupid stuff. And he will only bring women on the couch with him who cannot say something that makes sense. So therefore, he will not lose one of his staged arguments. And he will keep making money. And that narrative will go out into the world. And what it will do is men who do not have common sense, who do not have a father who was married and faithful to a mother, those men will believe this man who probably deep down wants a man and want to be with a man. They will believe this man. And then the women who watch it, who got sense, will then lose hope because they will say, this is the mouthpiece for men. And what he is saying is absurd. I give up. And now the goal of the adversary has been accomplished. So we coming into a time and a generation where people are lovers of self. So when you are a lover of self, you cannot see the other gender's power and position and their worth when you are a lover of self. So women are loving themselves, men are loving themselves, but not in the good way, in the bad way. So we now have no respect and we have no value. So therefore, when we go into a relationship, it is tumultuous. And so because the relationship is comprised of two people who are lovers of self in a selfish way, the relationship is tumultuous. And so they come to the resolution, the resolve that the relationship should be a business deal. So now when they go into a business deal of a relationship, the relationship is easy to walk away from. And that's why the divorce rate is 50 to 60%, because people are getting married in a business deal. A business deal is much easier to walk away from than love. If you've ever tried to walk away from real love, it is extremely, extremely hard. When you are in love, you want to stand and you want to fight for your love. So the narrative that a relationship is a business deal is a lie from the pit of hell. It is a trick of the enemy, because the adversary knows there is no strength in a business deal, and that business deals will end in arbitration, in court, in litigation, in court. And that is why marriages are ending in the court, in litigation, because they were built on business and not on the foundation of love. And a part of the foundation of love is friendship, respect, loyalty, honesty, trust. So when you build on a foundation of love, you now are building a firm mansion on something that it can stand. When you build it on the premise that a relationship is business, now you are building a relationship, you're building a mansion on the sand. And when you build a mansion on the sand, it cannot stand. So what we have to do is we have to come to the place where we have a healthy respect for the opposite sex. We need to have a healthy respect for the opposite sex, and we need to count the value of the opposite sex. We need to look at each other and we need to see the intangibles. We need to realize that our presence and our power and our worth is priceless. So when we look at each other and we realize that we are priceless, understanding that priceless is not worthless. A lot of people don't know what priceless means, meaning there is no dollar amount that you can put on a man or a woman who comes into a relationship operating from the right place. But when we come in and we try to put a dollar amount on a human, we lose. So a woman puts a dollar amount on a man and says, if you don't make $100,000 a year, you are not a man. A man puts a dollar amount on a woman and says, what you do around the house and in the bed is only worth this amount of money. So because we don't value each other as priceless, we then put a finite number on each other, and we go into the relationship with a lack of respect. And it may be a mutual lack of respect. And because of that lack of respect, that is why our relationships end, because we do not know the value of one another. And that is the case because of the narrative that is online. And I saw a post the other day where The lady was saying we are arguing about hypothetical situations that are not even real in reality. And then content creators are exacerbating the situation by talking about stuff and staging skits and staging text messages that are not real. And they are forming these fake text exchanges and posting it online to go viral. But it is putting this narrative out about relationships, that relationships are toxic and unhealthy. So then people say, I might as well break up, divorce, or stay single, not realizing that we were not put on this earth to be separated. We were put on this earth to come together, because we are stronger together than we are apart. But because of the messaging in our world, we are afraid of love, and we are afraid of marriage. We are afraid of heartbreak. So what you have to be able to do is you have to have a healthy respect for the opposite sex, and you have to have a healthy respect for yourself, a healthy self-love, not a selfish self-love, a healthy self-love. Then you go into the relationship and you love as if you have never been hurt before. So when you love as you've never been hurt before, that means that you are open to winning in love, but you are also open to losing in love. But that is the only way that you have a chance to experience the fullness of love, is if you build on a firm foundation and you have a healthy self-love and a healthy respect for the person you are dealing with, and you build on that. And then you understand that if you get hurt, you are dealing with a human who did not approach the relationship the way that you did. But understanding that that is possible, you then realize that you need to take your time in dating and not fall in love with the idea of love before there is actual love. So when you approach a relationship, you are not rushing, you are not panicking, you are patient, and you are building, and you are communicating, because communication to a relationship is like oxygen to life. So now that you are communicating from a healthy and whole place, and you are ready and willing to love as if you've never been hurt, now you can talk to this person and you can make sure that they are in the same place that you are in, and that they're operating from the same place that you are operating from. And if he or she is not operating from where you are operating from, then you are able to say, hey, this is not going to work. I'm not going to waste your time. We are not a fit, and we are going to we need to move forward with our life because we are not a fit. So you got to be in that place. And see, what people don't realize today is that you don't attract what you are. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. And people don't understand that. People think that because this homeless man approaches them, that means they are attracting what they are. No, you attract what you are means who you settle down in a relationship with is a reflection of you. It ain't who approaches you. It ain't who you go on a date with. It ain't who you talk to on the phone. It's who you settle down in a relationship with. That is a reflection of you. So when you become healthy and you become whole, when you sit down to have a conversation, you can tell if this person is healthy and whole. Like they say, money know money. Healed knows healed. Healthy knows healthy. So you will only settle down with a reflection of you. If you are broken, you won't be able to recognize that he or she is broken. But if you are healthy and whole, you will be able to recognize if he or she is healthy or whole. And this is how we have to start building. So what I'm finna start doing, and you share this with your friends and family, I'm finna start teaching on healthy and real love so that we are prepared for healthy and real love. And I'm finna get loud. And the reason why I'm finna get loud is because the devil is loud. Thank you for that cash out. Somebody sent me a cash out. God bless you. The devil is loud, and the devil getting too loud. So we got a lot of loud dummies. And they talking about love and relationship, and they never had love or a relationship. They have had relations, but they ain't never had real love. And yet they talking about something that they do not know what they talking about, and they are lying on love. And because they lying on love, they crucifying love. They crucifying love, and they blocking love, and they hindering the progression of the people. And unfortunately, at this time, it's pretty much only black people. And this is what's sad in our society. And this is what we have to recognize, and we got to realize. And you have to remove your eyeballs from foolishness. Because think about this. What does the algorithm give? What does the algorithm give black people? Ignorance. Ignorance and entertainment. When you look on YouTube, it's so many white creators who are talking about stuff that is boring. They are talking about credit card arbitrage, real estate, and the stock market. Those creators are blowing up and getting millions of white subscribers and Asian subscribers, and they are making $100,000 to $500,000 a month from YouTube. Whereas with black people, we have to talk about other people's business or stupid relationship takes in order to be relevant. So black people are pushed and promoted drama and ignorance and entertainment that is not healthy. But whites and Asians, and I don't know what the Hispanics is getting, because I really don't see a lot of Hispanic creators, because they working. The Hispanics be working now. They be out there working. Hispanic approached me the other day. Hey, you need me to do this lawn? I said, what you charge? He beat the white man price by, what he beat it by? By 20%. I say, boy, look here, boy, you not finna outwork no Hispanic now. One thing you ain't finna do, outwork no Hispanic. The Hispanic, it ain't many Hispanic creators because they working. But now, black people, we come from slavery. So now what we want to do is get on the internet. We want to get on the internet, but we want to be on the internet and be unproductive. We want to be gossip and ignorance and drama, because that's an easy check, like welfare and WIC and food stamps. So we will sell ourselves out with ignorance and drama and gossip to get an easy check, and then watch the other races share information that will push your life forward, and we don't catch it. So we have to start removing our views from ignorance, from drama, and from gossip. And what we take and do is we shoot ourselves in the foot. We cut our nose to spite our face. YouTube shows creators what our subscribers watch. So it showed me that my subscribers watch me, then go watch toxicity. So it's like taking a shower, then going and rolling in the mud. So YouTube is showing me this what your subscribers watching. They watching you, and then they going over here and watching this, which is the polar opposite of you. So your subscribers is righteous and ratchet. And that is why so many of them are stuck. And they are just over broke because of what they are feeding themselves. They planting a seed, and then they watering a weed. They planting a seed, and then they watering a weed. They listening to a married relationship coach. Then they going to listen to a single fornicating relationship coach. They listening to a married relationship coach. Then they going to listen to a red pill woman hater. So your audience is coming and getting cleansed, then and going and getting dirty. Congratulations, Tony. You ain't doing nothing. And then I get on the phone with my audience and they say, Tony, I've been listening to you for years, but I just took a strange man's dang-a-lang out of my mouth. I've been listening to you for years, but I'm in fornication. I've been listening to you for years, but I'm dating and sleeping with a married man. I've been listening to you for years, but I've been dealing with the same on and off relationship for 10 years. So we cannot advance if we are unwilling to change and to sacrifice. If we unwilling to do what's hard, to do the real work, then we cannot grow and we cannot change. And so this is the thing that's happening, and we wallowing. So it's a lot of people who will pretend to listen, and then as soon as a hard dang-a-lang or a wet vagina is in their face, they forget everything that they have been learning. And that's where we fail the test. And we can't be this real in the church. Now I'm finna open me a little location, and I'm finna start having Bible studies, but we finna go there. And it's finna be real. And I ain't gonna call it no church just so we can go real. Because that's where we got to get to. Is you got to sacrifice. You have to become what you say you want. Every single day, I talk to somebody and they say, Tony, I want a man. And I say, are you at your goal weight? And they say, no. I say, then you don't want a man. Because what do you want in a man? I want a provider. I want a man of God. I want this. I want that. I want this. I say, what do you think that man wants? He wants a woman who is taking care of herself inside and out. So if you are not what he wants, then it does him no good to be what you want. So, and then every single day I talk to people and they say, Tony, I want to work for myself. I want to leave my job. I want to leave my job. And then I say, well, do you utilize social media to promote your side business? And they say, no. Then I say, you don't want to leave your job then. Because if you're not doing what it takes to get what you say you want, then you do not want what you say you want. You want to talk about it, but you do not want to be about it. Listen to me. It's time that we take action. I created the consistency clothing line for me and just decided to share it with you because I had to tell myself, Tony, if you want what you say you want, you have to be consistent in every area of your life. And so listen, I'm in the trenches and I'm working, and this is what I want to share with you. You're going to have to get uncomfortable. If you are in fornication, you will always be broke, busted, and disgusted. If you are eating bad, you will always be broke, busted, and disgusted. If you are not building something that you cannot be fired from, you will always be broke, busted, and disgusted. If you are spending more than you earn, we will always, because I'm in that one with you, we will always be broke, busted, and disgusted. If you are watching and listening to things that are not edifying your spirit, challenging you in a healthy way and encouraging you in a healthy way, you will always be broke, busted, and disgusted. Growth is painful. Growth is painful. That is why it is called growing pains. You cannot grow without pain. Change is painful. You cannot change without pain. You have to go through the chills. You have to go through the shakes. You have to go through the shivers. You have to go through isolation. You have to go through alienation and separation. They all one and the same almost. You have to have some lows in order to climb higher. You are going to have to experience the lowest of the low to experience the highest of the high. You cannot be changed if you remain comfortable. You have to make a plan and you have to stick to the plan. You cannot get it all overnight. You cannot rush it. Nothing worth happening comes fast. Nothing worth happening happens fast. Everything worth happening and worth having, it will be a marathon. And you got to be okay with that. So it's time to curate your circle, to curate your space. God bless you, sister. And it's time to start to decide. See, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something. Woo! You don't want to hear me though. I'm gonna tell you something. If you got 5 friends, people talking about, oh, the 5 people you hang around, the 5 people you hang around. Look who made that famous. Who made that famous? Will Smith. Let me ask you this. Would you trade places with Will Smith? Absolutely not. If you got 5 friends, you doing something wrong. If you got 5 friends, you are mediocre. If you have 5 friends, you mediocre. Because listen, excellence is not common. Greatness is not common. You could be an amazing friend. You could be an amazing person. But when you start growing and you start changing, you gonna lose people. you gonna lose people because people do not want to be better. People do not want to grow. Listen, I don't know one person. I probably know one, but I don't know if it's for real. I know people who don't curse when they talking to me because they know I don't curse. But I don't know one person who does not curse. I don't know a man who does not watch pornography. Because if a man don't watch pornography and masturbate, that is a badge of honor, and he gonna brag about that because he know 99% of men do it. So guess what? I know men who don't gamble. I know men who don't smoke. I know men who don't drink. But if a man don't do those three things, then he probably eat bad. He probably don't want to work out. He probably don't want to pursue his dreams. He probably afraid to launch. So what happened is when you start working on your life and you start tweaking your life and you start working on yourself in every area, what you're going to realize, your circle going to shrink. Your circle is going to shrink because you're going to meet people to where you ain't judging them, but you want to be like what you be around. You're going to be like what you be around. So if I'm with somebody and I'm trying to eat healthy and all they do is eat bad, I got to get from around them. If I'm with somebody and I'm trying to have a clean mouth and all they is potty mouth, I got to get from around them. If I'm with somebody and I'm drug free and they want to smoke weed, I got to get from around them. If I'm with somebody and I don't want to get drunk and all they want to do is get drunk, I got to get from around them. If I'm with somebody and I don't want to gamble and they want to gamble, I got to get from around them. If I don't want to be in fornication and they in fornication, I got to get from around them. But now when you remove getting drunk, when you remove getting high, when you remove profanity, when you remove pornography, when you remove gambling, when you remove unhealthy eating every day, now you might have your cheat meal here and there. When you remove unhealthy eating every day, when you remove not working out, when you remove these things, that's 7 things I mentioned. Every one thing that you remove, you're going to have to cut somebody off. When you remove gossiping, you're going to have to cut somebody off. When you remove backbiting, you're going to have to cut somebody off. When you remove spending frivolously, spending more than you can afford to spend, you're going to have to cut somebody off. When you remove partying, you're going to have to cut somebody off. See, greatness is not common. Excellence is not common. So if you got 5 friends, that's why it let me know when somebody say you are the sum of the 5 people that you surround yourself with, you surrounding yourself with too many people if you surrounded by 5 people. Because you got too many vices in your life if you could have 5 people around you. You hear me? You blessed if you got 1 person around you. And I'm going to tell you something else. Your spouse ain't going to be on the level that you on. When you start growing and changing and going to that next level, your spouse ain't going to be on the level that you on. Because that's how rare the air is at the top of your mountain. And that's what you got to realize. You ain't going to be able to get along with too many people. Because when you step into excellence, you going to make people uncomfortable. They're going to be like, you think you too good. Oh, you think you better than me. No, you think I'm better than you. And you think that because I'm doing what you unwilling to do. So don't put words in my mouth because I'm trying to be better than who I was yesterday. And if that's better than who you is today, then that's your problem, not mine. So you need to get on your grind because I ain't finna dim my light and stop my shine because you want to cry and whine while you drunk off your wine and eating all that swine and riding the pine and want me to sit and play dumb and be kind because you don't want to hear the truth in a line. Listen to me. ain't even have to rhyme. But see, when you get to the place to where you have clarity, then you could do that. Because see, where God bring clarity, the devil gonna bring confusion. Now, I the one created that, not everybody saying it now. So that let me know that the message ain't falling on deaf ears. So what you got to realize is start climbing and watch how many people fall off. Start climbing and watch how many people say, yeah, I ain't gonna be able to do that. That hurt. This climb hurt. I'm tired. I'm thirsty. I'm finna go back to the valley. I'm finna stay in the valley. I ain't worried about the mountaintop. Cause that climb hurt. That climb scary. That climb is hard. You gonna lose people. You hear me? You gonna lose people. Trust me when I tell you. Hey, this Tony Gadden. I'm at my son's practice. That's why I'm in my mobile office. And he about to get out of practice in supposed to be 3 minutes. Man, they be late. I'm like, hold on. Now the season about over now. What y'all doing? Y'all be running overtime, man. Listen to me. You're going to have to start working on yourself and you're going to have to get better. That's why I created the consistency line, and I'm about to drop some more gear here soon next week, Lord willing. But it's time to get ready. It's time to get ready. It's time to cut off people that don't want to grow. It's time to stop listening to messages that's not edifying you. Stop chasing entertainment and start chasing education. Because you got one life to live and ain't no do-overs. And so you do not want to be on your deathbed with regrets. So stop hollering about what you don't like, what you don't want to do, what you scared to do, and do what you have to do when you have to do it so you could get what you say you want. Because you can't have what you say you want to have if you are unwilling to do what you need to do. And I'm going to tell you something. Stop worrying about a relationship. God bless you. Stop worrying about a relationship. Stop worrying about friends. And start worrying about your purpose. Why are you here? Why were you born? What life are you supposed to touch? What gift are you supposed to use? What are you supposed to create to let the world know that you were here? What is it going to be? And you have to stop letting people waste your time. When you get on this hill line and you listening to ignorance and you listening to entertainment, your life is stagnant. You are standing in quicksand and you sinking. You got to make moves and keep moving. And when you make moves and you keep moving, you are going to get what is for you and only you. And guess what? When you sacrifice in areas that others are unwilling to sacrifice in, you will receive rewards that others are ineligible to receive. And they will look up at you and they will say, how do we come from the same place, from the same bloodline, and you got something that I do not have? And then you're going to be able to tell them, I was willing to sacrifice what you were unwilling to sacrifice. And I'm sorry that it sounds like that, but the truth is what it is. So you're going to have to be willing to sacrifice. You're going to have to be willing to be separated in order to be elevated. You're going to have to be willing to change in order to receive change. And when you do that, your life is going to change. And your life going to change for the better. And see, listen, we all have areas that we need to grow in. We all have areas we need to grow in. And everybody's struggle is going to be different. You're going to know people who got your same struggle, but everybody's struggle going to be different. So where I struggle, you might not struggle. Where you struggle, I might not struggle. But none of us is ever perfect. But perfection is the goal. The pursuit of perfection is the goal. You will not catch perfection, but you will catch excellence. You will catch greatness. You will catch. That is what is for you. That is what you will catch when you willing to change and you willing to grow. You willing to be different. You willing to sacrifice. And I'm gonna tell you right now, it's gonna hurt. It is going to hurt. I've been getting up every morning and I've been working out. I got goals. I know my wife got goals. So because I'm not alone, I'm not one, and I know she got goals, I've been asking her. Where if I wouldn't ask her, she probably go work out some kind of way some days, but I've been asking her every day. I said, hey baby, can we walk? And she carving out the time and we making and we going to walk. And what that's also doing is building a relationship. And what I realized I have to do, I also got to keep building my relationship. I got to keep building my body. I got to keep building my business. So you got to look at what you got to do, and you got to put non-negotiables on your schedule. And when you put non-negotiables on your schedule, and we got class Saturday morning, 9 a.m., my wife's going to be on there for the first part, and then I'm going to be on there and take it on home. And it ain't even about the class. It's about the investment in yourself to where when you sow a seed, you reap a harvest. You sow a seed, you reap a harvest. What all it is a mindset shift. You going and you telling your mind, this is my season and I'm working on me. And when you willing to do that, that's when you see the change happen. Because you're going from a scarcity mindset to an abundant mindset. And when you go to an abundant mindset, you also go into a mindset of expectation. And what you expect is what you receive. What you believe is what you receive. So what happens is we take the wool off our eyes. When we start to work on ourselves, we start to invest in ourselves, we start to see things differently because we say, hey, I'm working out every day, so I'm expecting this body to change. And now we start to see the change. We say, hey, I'm investing my money, so I'm expecting my money to grow. And we start to see our money grow. Hey, I'm investing in me, in my mind, in my business, so I'm expecting a return on my investment, and we start to receive a return on that business investment. See, a lot of times a blessing is staring you in the face, but because you have not worked for it, you're not even looking for it, you're not expecting it because you don't feel you deserve it because you have not done the work that needs to be done. So therefore, you're not in expectation of it. And that's what you have to realize. And once you realize that, things start to change. See, you got to do the work, and then you got to be in expectation of blessings. So when I'm sitting there and I got a need, I'm sitting there and I got a need. Let's see, Bella, God bless you now. God bless you. Sister, show out now. Sister, you finna show out now. When I'm sitting there and I got a need, this is what I say. I say, I don't know how it's going to happen. I say, I don't know how it's going to happen, but I know it's going to happen. Because I know who is going to make it happen. Because I've been diligent. I've been faithful. I've been sacrificing. And I know that I can't put in good and get out bad. I know that I'm in line for a blessing. I know I'm in line for a blessing because of the testing, because of the lessons, because of the work that I done put in, a blessing on the way. See, when you start to change and you start to sacrifice and you start to work, you start to look different, you start to feel different, you start to expect different. And that's what I want you to realize and understand. I want you to realize that and understand that. And as soon as you get that in your spirit, as soon as you come to that place, your life gonna change. Your life gonna change. Because see, listen, it's all here. It's all here. You hearing from somebody who put in the work. I put it in the work, and you could Google me and you could see what I'm doing, but I don't have a mentor. I don't have a team. I don't have a college degree. I don't have entrepreneurial parents. It's just your mindset. It's what you are willing to work for, and what you know you deserve, and what you know you are going to receive, and you're going to see it happen. And what you got to realize is, like, I meet people every day who are more cut out for a platform and success than me. But what they don't have is tenacity. They're afraid to fail. They're afraid to try because they're afraid to fail. And they got every single thing to win. I want you to think about this. Think about when you see somebody online and they 400 pounds and they making content and they making money. And then you'll see somebody who is 150 pounds, 180 pounds, 200 pounds, and they sitting in fear. And they're afraid to make content because they questioning themselves, they're questioning their worth. So they sitting on top of a vault full of money, and they have the code in their hand, and they're afraid to put the code in because they think it's going to blow up in their face. It's like the man who had the boy who had the class Saturday is 9 o'clock. If you can't be there live, you get the recording, the audio recording. I might do the video if it's not too big. It's like the man who got the ashy hands. Here that boy is. This boy is, his skin color is the color of this hat. They tell us the darker you are, the less worthy you are, the less valuable you are. The boy's skin color is the color of this hat. His hands, they is long and they was ashy. He goes on TikTok and he show what somebody doing that's ignorant, and then he showed them little ashy hands, them long ashy hands. He don't say a word. Now that man making $1 million. I think they say that man get $750,000 for every TikTok he posts. And when he started making the videos, he could have it. Sometimes the background looked like he was in rural Africa. Sometimes the background to me looked like he was in a township in Africa. It didn't look like he was in Beverly Hills, Houston, New York, Atlanta. He went on there just doing that. $750K per TikTok. See, we got to get out our own way. We got to get out our own way. People say, Tony, how you built your brand? I made a post on Twitter 17 times a day when Twitter was the hot thing to be on. 17 times a day. No, he ain't collab with Hugo Boss. Hugo Boss collab with him. Hugo Boss paying him millions. When Twitter was the thing, I made a post 17 times a day. So when people say, Tony, how you got what I ain't got? I did what you ain't do. I did what you ain't do. Oh, I don't like Twitter. Me either. Tony, how you did? I post on Facebook pages twice a day, 2 quotes a day, and then 4 quotes a day. When Facebook pages was the thing. I don't like Facebook pages. Facebook toxic. I agree. It is. But I got to do what I got to do. Tony, how you built your YouTube? I post every day. I started out posting 3 times a week. When I got serious, then I went to 5 times a week. Then I went to 7 times a week. I don't know if I could post every day. You don't want it then. You see what I'm saying? You got to do what you don't feel like doing. If you say you want what you don't have. Hey, this Tony Gas, I got to drive. God bless y'all. Class is Saturday. I put the link in the description. Be there or be square. If I don't see you, don't ask me for nothing. So, hey, hush, son, before you be walking, boy. That's our old club saying from the 90s and the 2000s. Be there or be square. Hey, God bless y'all. I got to drive. I don't want to be driving on live because I got to arrive alive. Hey, God bless my son back there breathing hard. Yeah, he would have been throwing up when he heard my full rhyme I did earlier. Hey, God bless y'all. We'll talk soon. See you in class Saturday.